What's up, guys? Zatu here. Sorry, it's been a long time since the uploads. Uh, that's just how it goes. Been busy, you know. So, yeah, based off of the title of this video, you're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck? I thought you liked this game. I mean, I do. The thing is, it's a sort of love-hate relationship, where you love to hate it very much. Uh, Anyone who knows me will know that I'm a pretty outspoken person and not, against defending myself when someone wants to talk shit. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, to preface this, we need to go over a little bit of the history of this game a little bit, and this is a very emotional topic for me. Not really, but so this game started back in 2012. And back then, it was actually an open source game, and it was posted onto I think the Poke community forums or whatever. That's like a really poppin' spot for ROM hacks and that sort of thing. And anyway, this was an open source game. Initially, the engine itself, where the way it works, which makes it legal, I'm sure most of you know this, is it rips the sprites from the ROM on the fly. So as when you load up the game, it's ripping the sprites from the ROM, and then the game itself is actually like recreated with the sprites like from scratch within Java. So yeah, 2012 when I joined, it was September 2012. My real life friends like found out about the game and told me to come through and stuff because I'm a huge Poke fan and everything. So I did, and I thought it was awesome. It was like everything I ever wanted. People referred to the game back then as Catch MMO. And so what that means basically is there was no breeding or anything back then. So it was just catching. And there was other aspects to it, like that you could only get like one of certain TMs and one of like the gift Pokemon and your starters and stuff. So if you wanted more starters, you needed to make an alt and do it that way. And if you wanted like extra EVs and stuff with good IVs, you'd have to play through the storyline to that point, or any TM, etc. So at that point in the game, the economy was shinies and lucky eggs. So you would beat the game, and then you would go and you would grind lucky eggs or shinies, and maybe make a team or something. And it wasn't like super seriously competitive. Everyone would do 3v3s, and the meme was the like Brazilians or Portuguese or whatever would be like 3v3 Busca War, and so fucking that was the meme from that back then. And in my opinion, that time period was like really good vibes, really fun. And it was really interesting seeing how like you took a vanilla Pokemon experience and the players themselves built the economy. There was no GTL and anything like that. That didn't come for years and years. So that was like the first iteration of this game. In my opinion, it was probably like more fun to actually play than this version, and maybe even more centric on trading and like interacting with players and stuff like that. So yeah, fast forward to like I think like 2014 or something. Here's the issue, really. It's just the lack of like sincerity from the devs of this game. It was always like a passion project, but there's always been like huge gaps between updates. So between like 2012 and 2014, the game was like barely updated, besides like really simple things. So they had they finished the region and stuff, and in my opinion, it wasn't really like anything to talk about. We've all played it a million times before. Region doesn't really add any real content to the game. An actual quote from one of the devs in this game in like 2016 was something along the lines of adding more regions makes the game as wide as an ocean and as shallow as a puddle. And I couldn't agree more. Basically, this game has a serious problem with lack of content and lack of like solid updates, and things like that. Like, so yeah, back to like the whole point of this. The actual devs are not capable of taking any sort of criticism for this game. Like, instead of implementing any sort of like MMO features, it's always been the next region, the next, almost like it's a content like patch, adding content, but really they're just adding like new Pokemon stuff. So the base game remains the same. It's still, just Pokemon duels, really, but new items and new Pokemon or whatever. It doesn't actually change anything. So anyway, before like the newest updates, the game was actually Gen 3, and it was actually, I would also say it was a lot better then too, and more reason to play then because it was Gen 3, but they started adding in future gen items and stuff. So it would be like Gen 3, but you'd also have like, Life Orb and specs and stuff like that too, which made it into like an actual unique experience. Whereas now, you could just compare, it's no different than Gen 5 on Pokemon Showdown. And that was a huge letdown for me for when they decided to update the game to Gen 5, because Gen 5 is like one of the worst game, like generation design wise, and like meta wise wasn't too great either. It would have been slightly better for them to do 4 or just remain at 3, because it really doesn't add anything to add new Pokemon other than just basically shitting on the people that, appreciated the Generation 3 pokes. And Generation 3 isn't even a meta that anyone really plays, so it was really nice to have a space where people knew things about it and stuff like that. So yeah, back to the point of this main video, or this video. Why you shouldn't play PokeMMO. And yeah, you basically shouldn't play it because there's no content. Okay? There's a huge issue with player retention where players will join the game and they'll want to like re-experience their childhood through the regions, and so they'll beat the regions and then that's it, they'll quit. And there's obviously serious issues with this, and actually, retaining the player base and getting them to do anything MMO like. So yeah, that's really what the game's lacking, is just any sort of actual MMO features. And I've been very vocal in when I had forum access about this, about how we should add stuff like, player real estate, like houses and stuff, PvP staking, like from RuneScape, where you stake and you put money on yourself. Other things like classes, like you could be like a breeder, you could be like a farmer, or like Officer Jenny or something, list goes on and on. I really care about the game and wanted to see it progress, so I would, put my suggestions onto the forum and just be faced with like much backlash because of who I am and my history. So yeah, that's kind of just like the current state of the game is just that like there's no game there. There's no real MMO there. It's cool and all, you want to like get up the leaderboards and stuff, but if you wanted to rise ELO, you should be doing it on Showdown, not like where you have to grind for like hours and hours just to get like one competitive Pokemon or competitive team, and then, be able to duel after those like 20 hours or whatever, just to find out that your team sucks. So you have to go into Showdown and stuff to actually get good. It's going to be really hard to get good here. And, there are events, they do events and stuff, like the catching competitions and stuff, but those are kind of just more like non-content. It's like over the years, the prizes just become worse and worse, and like The shinies like weren't even tradable, which is fine. It's kind of like a trophy. But now they don't even give out shinies, and it's like, they weren't even tradable. So it's like, why even participate in their events? You'd be better off hosting your own. Or they could even support the economy. They could buy like a prize off the GTL and stuff, and that wouldn't negatively affect the game, even if they're using like generated money to do so, or if they gave out larger prizes. So yeah, this game is just really fucking boring, basically. I'd probably say like 5% of the people that play it, like I said earlier, will just quit after the storyline because they'll realize there's just nothing to do. You can accumulate like a bankroll and stuff, and I must say the holiday events are fucking awesome when they do them. Like sometimes they'll skip them and stuff. I don't know why or how, but people wouldn't even mind if they recycled the events, but they'd rather just skip them. And so, yeah, people are just the people that do play the game consistently over the years. Not many of them have lasted 8 years like me, and they're just really, kind of like against any sort of change. They don't really care for like new content. They don't really, aren't vocal about it. They aren't vocal about, all the fake shit going on. And so yeah, it just leaves you with this really dry, really empty experience where there's just fucking nothing to do, And there's like I said, there's like a million fucking ways you can implement MMO shit. You could have like open wilderness. That would be fucking dope. Like shit like that. Like fuck, it's not that hard. That's where their efforts should be going. Like they've been parading around like the fucking legendary dungeon shit, which will be amazing whenever they do that. But they first started talking about that in like fucking 2015. That's like 5 years ago. They haven't do that after that long. And it's just been one fake content patch after another. It was Unova and Sinnoh, and then fucking probably Johto. Just basically to waste your time. They want you to waste your time as long as possible, hoping that you donate in that time, and then quit. Because they know you're gonna quit, because they know their game sucks. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. There's some other eras and stuff of the game, like bike MMO, like shit like that. Just other fuck ups. But yeah, it's just like a fucking sparsely updated game. There's a lot of people donating to this shit. At their fucking skins and stuff, like a lot. You could easily estimate that they make like 10 or 20K a month, easy. And of the devs, there's like three. There's like three devs. One is like, it's Darkshade. He's the fucking graphics guy who hasn't, literally how fucking hard is it to make like 8-bit sprites and shit, Like, you could easily just have like a fucking contest with all the players just to fucking produce that sort of shit. So he's useless. And there's like two others that actually code Java, and then there's, big boys at the top, Q and fucking Squirtle, who's like the original creator, and like Shu, another dev. So it's a huge issue it's a greed issue that of all those people, I doubt any of them are getting paid except maybe one or two. So they're sitting on the huge stacks at this point, And of course, no one would play it if it wasn't like a popular copyrighted thing, which is fine, like Nintendo doesn't deserve all the fucking money. But like, why the fuck aren't they dedicating more time to developing for this game? Why? It's because they understand that if they barely do anything, that will be the standard that they have set. And because they're still raking it in, why fix it if it's not broken? So, yeah, it's just a really upsetting thing. It's a missed opportunity. In 8 years, it could have made, 10 times as much progress as it, has. And yeah, it's really grim outlook, with like the 5 years before like the the announcement of the dungeons thing and stuff like that. It's like, when the fuck are you gonna do anything other than adding fake drip feed bullshit? Like the hidden abilities, for instance, like completely bullshit. They should have just given us hidden abilities right off the gate. They want to put them in the dungeons so that you have a reason to, regrind and recreate these Pokemon and fucking start all over and shit. Which is basically a big fuck you to the old school players, which has happened multiple times when they fucked with the Lucky Eggs and they fucked with the Dittos and they fucked with everything. It's just shit, what not to do, basically. It's for your OG members. And so yeah, it's kind of depressing. Current state. Very fun game. Still. And I mean, you're gonna have tons and tons of fun. But literally fucking shiny hunting is gonna make you want to kill yourself. And grinding, PvP is awesome. But, it could just be done in Pokemon Showdown. Anyway, I hope you guys like this rant. Probably fucking think I hate the game, which I kind of do. Like I said, it's like a love-hate thing. And, yeah, there's like really, no way I'll ever quit. I'll keep playing and stuff, hoping that these things happen. But yeah, hope you guys don't hate me now. Whatever, it's been a long time since I uploaded. I'll be doing more like actual, PokeMMO content. That's not just talking shit in the future. So yeah, like, subscribe, dislike, do whatever the fuck. I don't care. There's barely fucking any subs at this time, but I hope you guys liked my little rant and become new content now that I have a little bit more free time. So peace out.